Hi! On the Woodpecker today, we spent the last 3 weeks at the cottage. But don't worry, we didn't work all the time. Before going to the cottage, I had the chance to use my snowmobile. No, there's no more snow at the cottage. But I need to bring it back to where I bought it to have it fixed under warranty. Then we can continue to the cottage. It's so peaceful over there. It's why we love it so much. But to be warmer in winter, we will add some insulation under the floor. Before we can do this, we have to remove all the wood that I store under the cottage. I didn't realize there was so much. I pulled some from behind the cottage, on the neighbor's side, one pile ready to burn, 2 more of barn planks that we didn't use during the construction, and finally, a big pile of construction lumber. It was such a surprise to see such quantities. But now we can start insulating the floor. I already have 1 inch of white styrofoam insulation. We want to add more because it's cold in winter. But before that, I need to crawl under the cottage to remove the strips of wood that hold the wire mesh against vermin. This takes some time. It's not easy working like that. But I still managed to remove the wire mesh. But I had a nice surprise. I forgot that I've already added some insulation on 1/4 of the floor. This means we will just have to add insulation where there's none. This is perfect because in 2008 I brought all this insulation here to insulate the floor. Then in 2014 I brought all the leftover door cutouts from my shop here also. But 11 years outside made them pretty disgusting. Renée takes care of that while I'm cutting them. But all this starts pretty badly. This is my cutting blade just after a couple of minutes. I change it and make the cut from the other side. All that's left to do is to put it in place. The first piece of insulation in place, but I still have a lot more to do. When I'm done with the door cutouts, I find out that cutting styrofoam is way easier and faster. I was able to cover 4.5 sections with all the door cutouts. The rest of the half section of the cottage was done with styrofoam. The next day, I filled the gaps I was unable to cover with styrofoam with spray foam. But we're not done. We will add more insulation, the same one we put on the ceiling last summer. Once again, I opted for the kind with 2 reflective sides. I think it might be overkill, but it's what I brought here. Here, Renée passes me the insulation from outside and, while I'm laying on my back, staple it in place. Again, this would have been way easier if I hadn't been stuck in this position. But I managed, and half of the floor's covered. This insulation will also serve as a vapor barrier. But it's not over. I still need to put back the wire mesh. Done. Now the vermin won't enter, at least from the floor. But I still need to put back the wood strips that keep the wire mesh in place. Finally, half of the cottage floor is insulated. We're pretty happy, but we still need to insulate the other half. Here is all the styrofoam we have at the cottage installed. But we're missing some to insulate two sections. We will have to finish the job on our next visit. But we still can install this insulation on top of the places where I've put some styrofoam. Here is everything we were able to do on this half. We will finish the job on our next visit. We move all the construction lumber we placed here and pile it back under the cottage. As a matter of fact, this pile is way better than several days ago. We still have the plank pile to stack. We lay them all over the place so they can dry. Then we pile it between the other pile and the chimney. But the weather was not on our side, as you can see by looking at the temperature. On top of being cold, it rained almost all the time, as you can see just by looking at the dock underwater. So we took this opportunity to do stuff inside, like painting our Christmas ornaments for the upcoming fair season. But when it's nice outside, we go out and fix the road. This one is on our private road. While I'm digging a trench to empty the water, Renée is picking some rocks. We lay them inside the hole. When they're straight, I fill a wheelbarrow with sand and we make sure this will be straighter. But this is far from being the worst repair we do. On the main road, a stream passed over the road. We need to fix this better than just putting a warning flag, like someone did. So we need more rocks. After dropping them in the hole, I put sand on top of them, while Renée picks up more rocks, and like always, the rat is useless. We will need 5 wheelbarrows of rocks to fill the hole. But while Renée is taking care of that, I put sand on top. Eventually, we just need to make this straighter, so it will be easy to drive there. We just need to pick up our stuff and go to the next hole. In fact, this one is way easier to fix. Then we can come back to the cottage. And you're not crazy. The darn rat doesn't walk. He requested to go inside the wheelbarrow. What a useless dead weight. But I also want to take care of the water level sensor I installed when it was raining. Now I can see from inside the cottage how much liters of water I have inside the well, and also the amount of centimeters of water. But when we leave, I switch the power of the sensor off. It's why I added this wire before insulating the floor. I will power the sensor with it, but I need to put it underground. So I'm digging near the cottage, while Renée digs near the watershed. And the wire will be inside this pipe. I try to fish a fishing line inside, but it doesn't work. I did this on all the pipes I put electrical wires inside, but all those were bigger than this one. So I'm going to use a nail and pull it with magnets. Everything starts pretty well. I'm pulling the nail and Renée takes care of the fishing line. But about a quarter of the way in, I can't move the nail anymore. I tape the pipe on the post and leave the fishing rod by itself. With the pipe straight, like that, it's working super nice. But even then, after a while, I'm stuck. So I cut the pipe to length, and then I'm able to get the nail out. So we're ready to put it underground. We begin by removing some cobblestones from our boardwalk and finish the trench. Then we can pull the pipe in place. I'm going to put the pipe inside a bigger one under the boardwalk. So if I want to put another wire someday, I won't have to remove the boardwalk again. Now we can fish the cable inside the small pipe. Renée is pushing at one end while I'm pulling on it from the other end. This goes super well, and the cable is now inside the pipe. After taping around the big and small pipes, I can fill back the dirt. Most of the time, it's as easy as this, but there are a lot of roots, and the pipe goes under them. Some are as easy as this one, but others are tough, like this one. Eventually, we're done backfilling the small pipe, and the cable is inside the watershed. The last thing to do is to backfill under the boardwalk and put the cobblestones at their place. The very last thing to do is to pour some sand around the cobblestones. But there's one other thing I want to do. Get rid of all those stumps. Yes, I have more elsewhere, but I will deal with those another time. All those stumps come from when we pulled them out to make our parking area bigger. Now it's time to get rid of them. When it's all cut, we can pile them under the porch, and now we're super happy that it's all clean over here. We also took a lot of time to appreciate the nature around us. We went on a canoe trip on the lake. And yes, the rat is with us even here. We also love seeing wildlife around us, like this couple of loons in front of our cottage. Also, as usual, walk the useless rat. Renée managed to overfeed him. Now it's my job to make him lose weight. But it's not that hard, because he loves to walk with me and also loves the spots where I bring him. He also has the opportunity to see wildlife on our walk. I was thinking that my biggest adventure was when Louis and I came face to face with a black bear during one of our walks. But no, on our way back, the pickup broke. In fact, it's the transmission radiator that broke. Here you can see it better. This had the effect of emptying 10 of the 12 liters of oil on the road. You can see it better here. The oil spill can be seen for several kilometers. Finally, after 7 hours of waiting, the tow truck arrived. I don't wish this on anyone, especially the $1,500 fee for the towing. But eventually, we got back to civilization with a working pickup. This was what we did on our 3-week stay at the cottage. Now I have to finish what I've started in the shop, and you will see this in a future episode of The Woodpecker.